Hello, I'm Dr. Sri Banerjee, core faculty for the College of Health Science and Public Policy at Walden University. And risk factor number 8 is triggering factors. And triggering factors are events or circumstances that, even if seemingly unrelated to atrocity crimes, may seriously exacerbate existing conditions or may spark their onset. So there's 12 indicators that are corresponding to the triggering factors. And so those indicators include sudden deployment of security forces or commencement of armed hostilities, spillover armed conflicts, or serious tensions in neighboring countries. And we see that time and time again in a lot of ethnic cleansing places where neighboring countries destabilized actually carries over into the specific country. The risk factor number 3, the indicator, is measures taken by the international community perceived as threatening to a state's sovereignty. Number 4, abrupt or irregular regime changes, transfers of power, or changes in political power or groups. Number 5, attacks against the life, physical integrity, liberty, or security of leaders, prominent individuals, or members of opposing groups. Number 6, religious events or real or perceived acts of religious intolerance or disrespect, including outside national borders. And one thing I want to make note of here is that many of the mass killings and mass atrocities, a lot of them have taken place in places of worship, and that's one of the most tragic occurrences to take place. So in terms of number 7, acts of incitement or hate propaganda targeting particular groups or individuals. And this was something that I reflected and provided a synopsis on in the minoritization of Tutsis and dehumanization in Rwanda by the Hutus. In terms of number 8, and that was perpetrated by mass media, newspaper media, with the 10 Commandments that were discriminatory against Tutsis. Number 8 is number 7 is acts of incitement or hate propaganda targeting particular groups or individuals. Number 8 is census elections, pivotal activities related to those processes or measures that destabilize them. So a lot of times in countries there are violent elections. There's long lines, and eventually the choices are violent. So again, number 9, natural disasters might destabilize the country, put them in financial crises, and also affects the workforce. Well, Haiti was not really the country. Haiti was not really affected by ethnic cleansing as such. It was affected by a lot of earthquakes and, in fact, hurricanes. Hurricanes were the vast majority. But a lot of natural disasters have taken place in the country, which destabilized the government and then provided the impetus to have a lot of unstable governments and leaders. So discovery of natural resources is another reason. Number 10, or launching of exploitation projects that have a serious impact on the livelihoods and sustainability of groups or civilian populations. Number 11, commemoration events of past crimes, which are traumatic or historical episodes that can exacerbate tensions. And to this day, actually, this took place in the 1930s. Unthinkable atrocities that took place between the Japanese and in Nanjing and China. And this was literally known as the Rape of Nanjing. And there was a lot of, in fact, mass atrocities that took place, a lot of mass rapes and a lot of atrocities against civilians, women, and children. In terms of acts related to accountability processes, particularly when perceived as unfair. Accountability is very important in terms of mass atrocities. So this summarizes all the triggering factors. Thank you for listening.